afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I am going to show you how to use up your old sewing patterns for anybody that has these in their stash. I have train cases full of these beautiful treasures that I pick up at the thrift shops for next to nothing. I saw this was inspired by Turquoise Dreaming, Sheree, who I just happened upon her video of this a couple days ago, and I just fell in love with the idea. So I thought, you know what a great way to use up these patterns. So this is only one way, of course. There's many different ways. I've seen people make full-on journals using these, which I intend to do as well. But for today, let's stick to the agenda. I'm going to show you the prototype I did. So I basically, because they're so old, we're going to do this one today. You can see she used a much better one. Like hers was in decent shape. This takes a little bit of surgery, if you will, careful surgery, because I don't want to tear off anything. I'm just going to try to keep as much of this as I possibly can, but you got to build it up. You got to make it strong. We cut down the sides here. I will cut this piece off the flap, and then I will fold this over. Like you can see how I did it here. I folded it over, I gave it a thumb punch, and it's basically a little sewing pattern pocket. I just took a printable with some young paper doll girls on them, and I cut it to size to fit into the envelope, and I made a little journaling spot in the back. I glued down some of the inside of the pattern, you know, this stuff here. It comes in each pattern, of course. Pattern pocket or pattern. And this one here I thought was adorable. So this is the pattern we're going to work on. And inside, of course, is a diagram of the dresses for these girls. And I think, wow, that's either going to make a really nice journaling card, or I like this as is. And I'm going to make this right here into a little journal. So I'm going to keep that for now and show you guys how to make one for yourself. It's nice and sturdy now. You can hear it. I backed it. I opened it up and I backed each, the front cover and the inside with cardstock, and just to build it up and make it sturdy. In fact, you could even Mod Podge over top of this. That would even be nice as well. I did add some washi inside and outside for just, you know, just for extra strength, because it, like I said, it's pretty fragile. My patterns, they're pretty old, which is why I buy them. I like the old ones. Okay, so I did stitching around for the video. I don't know how to pause my videos. Yes, I know I'm that lame, but I don't. So either I'm going to pause and show you the finished look on this particular pocket, or I won't. Well, actually, I'm gonna make two videos. I'm gonna show you how to get to the point of sewing. I'm gonna go and sew, but then I have to start a new video to show you how to finish it off. Because like I said, maybe I don't have a pause button. I'm not even sure, but we'll make two videos. That's okay. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to put this aside for now. I think it's adorable. The other thing I had to do, see the price tag here? I can't get it off without ripping the actual pattern. So here I just covered it up. I cut, let's see if I cut an image off one of the offcuts that I used, and I just covered the price tag with the little floral image. So that's that. Okay, putting it aside, and let's start on this one. So these, I did a little bit of pre-cutting. Once I cut the edges down, these are going to be what I use for the inside to make them stronger, make the pattern pockets stronger. So let's start with cutting the edges off. I think what I'm going to do first, I do have to cut this piece here. I don't feel like I need it, so I'm just going to cut at the top of the Simplicity And I'm going to use my hand to do it because it's so old that this cutter, I think, would just end up tearing tearing the pattern the pattern. So I don't want to, didn't want to do that. So there. So now I'm going to cut right down as little as possible, just enough to open up the pattern. And again, you can see, make sure I'm in, you can see how fragile the pattern is. So you have to be very careful. This is just a small paper cutter that I picked up at a thrift store. I use it for these small little projects. Let's see. I probably should just use my scissors. Really, I should. You know what? I do want a straight line though. So I just feel like sometimes this might end up. Let's see how it goes. We'll try it. Okay, we had success. All right, perfect. So that's one side. And see how it opens up. And so we're going to do that to the other side now. This isn't the greatest cutter in that I have to line it up with the groove in the middle, which isn't as accurate as some. Now let's see if this is going to be straight. Well, we're going to find out. Again, the fragility makes me nervous. Oh, see? That's going to be a bit of a problem. Let's see if I can. Sorry, guys, but if you don't have one in decent shape, we're learning that together then, because this is how fragile some of them can be. And if it's too fragile to cut using this, I'm going to use my hands, my scissors. Here we go. Did it. Woohoo. Love that. Love it when it works out. Okay. Move this aside. So here we have how old, look how old it is. It's so stained inside, but that's what makes this extra special, in my opinion. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. The simplicity I want to show you again. So I cut the very top off, and then I fold this little flap over. That's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to do it like, I'm just going to eyeball it. Maybe I won't. Oh, it's so fragile. That's okay, I will reinforce this. You can just see how. That's okay, that's okay. I managed to do it with the other one, and it worked out just perfectly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this inside, or the back part of the envelope, backwards here, because I want to create the size of my pocket now. But I also want to leave a little bit up here showing, because I want to leave some of the background that I'm going to use to cover the inside. It's pretty. Again, here's the background. I did make a boo-boo on this one. You can see how I stitched it underneath the flap, which I did not need to do. But that's okay. No big deal. But this is how you'll or this was what'll be showing, and I wanted to leave that part. So here we'll cover that. All right, so I'm just going to maybe I'll, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna rip it here. Carefully, of course. Carefully. And once you fold your crease, this is pretty easy to rip. All right. So there we have a little bit done. So now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to, no, I won't cut the thumb hole yet. So let's cover the inside. And I think I'm going to have to cut this down a bit more yet, and that's okay too. We can do this together. So I want to go up to the, almost to the crease, but not quite. See how far I need to go down. I would say about there is good. Okay. And about here. I might as well do the other one while we're at it. Get it close to the edge as you can. And again, because the pattern is so old, it's definitely not straight, so you got to do a little bit of manipulating to make it fit properly. Okay, sometimes when I mark my sheets, I forget where I put the markings, but here it is. Okay, here we go. So that should be okay, and this should be okay. I think I'm going to cut it just a little bit. Oh, that'll be perfect. Okay, so that's that one. I'll cut this one down. This is pretty relaxing. Oh my goodness. I did my first one yesterday. Wasn't going to do it, but of course, while I was crafting, making my previous video, I had, sometimes when you get your YouTube notifications, it caught my eye, this pattern, because I love my sewing patterns. I'm not a sewer at all, but I love I just love collecting them for these types of things, and this I thought was a super great idea that Sheree had. Might have to cut this one yet, I'm not sure. So let's see. You know what, I'm going to lose a bit of light here. It's a bit too bright. Okay, this is going to work. All right, so now I'm going to use the glue. Of course, it's important to get all your corners. Did my video just go dark? I think I'm going to have to turn that lamp light on again. Isn't this pretty? This is a paper pad I picked up off the Facebook Marketplace. Oh, there's a gal that, she's local. She's obviously quite the crafter, because she keeps posting these wonderful paper pad items for dirt cheap, and they're both, obviously you can see they're double-sided, so when I see them posted, I grab them. She doesn't live too far away, so okay, here we go down. So well, that went down pretty well. Love it, love it. It's a little bit showing on the edge, but that's okay. That is so fine. See how I'm going to do some washi tape just for some extra reinforcement? I'm going to ink it as well. But I'll do the washi after I get this one down. Okay. These are loud prints, but I think they're fun. You won't see this one really anyways. I just thought I'd use it for the inside because it's, I don't know, gives me a cohesive feel. I'm weird like that. Really, all you would need to use is a piece of cardstock from that you use for printing your images on or whatever, just an old piece of cardstock. But I just wanted to stick to this pattern. Get the corners. There we go. Here we go. Down we go. Hopefully it fits. Yay! It's going smoothly. That's why I like to do one first before I make a video, because it's usually trial and error first time around. Okay, so, oh, and already you can feel how much sturdier it is. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I do the washi tape. Come on, get in it. Reinforcement. And I don't have washi on me. I'm sorry. I should have had some ready. Go to my washi shelf. And let's see. Oh, I'll just use some of this. Keep it simple. So I'm going to use maybe just this here. So I measure. You could just eyeball it. What I do is I reinforce the washi with some Scotch Create, because you don't want the washi coming up, hey? Whoops. Give it a dose of Scotch Create, glue, and down we go. So yeah, just reinforcing the bottom crease. And I'm going to do the same thing to the outside. Cut it off. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I have some little pieces here to glue down. You can see the, oops. Nothing worse when you're trying to fit your creations into certain pockets and you didn't quite get the little edge pieces glued down, then you'll be glad you do this. All right, I think it's done, that part. Just checking here, that's all right. Looks pretty glued down. Okay, now let me think, what was the next thing I did? Well, I definitely punched a thumb, which I like to do, a thumb punch. You know why? Because I like to, and I keep this. I kept this piece, and I'll show you what I did with it. I had sewed through it, and I used it just for a little embellishment on the front. So I think I'll do that again. I try to use up pretty much everything when I'm making something. Okay, this is where I have to go and sew, because I want to do that for the finished product. But you know what I'm going to do with you guys together right here is let's just do some inking. That much we can do together. I'll just keep inking. just makes the edges pop a bit. Oh, I have to get that little piece down better. Okay. Not the most necessary thing to do, but I like to ink, so especially the thumb hole or the thumb punch. It's nice to contour to highlight the actual punch shape. Of course, you have to be careful when you're inking such fragile pattern packages because you don't want to tear them. I'm not going to ink the bottom because we're going to washi tape that, which I forgot to do. So let us do it together. I want to get a better color. That's too stark of a, inside it doesn't matter, but you're going to see the one on the outside. I'm going to cut that piece off a bit. So let me just grab something a little more fun that might go with this pattern. Sorry guys, give me a second here. See. Okay, what have I got in my washi bin? Where did I put my washi? Maybe it's here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use one of these. I'm sure we'll find something here. A little too pinky toned. Don't really want to use that. Okay, I think we might have some success here. Okay, we'll use one of these. Let's see. This is kind of cute. Little butterflies. See if it comes off. Sometimes if they sit too long, oh, she's coming off nicely. Okay, perfect. Okay, get some Scotch Create. Whoops. I want to eyeball that. I wonder if I should use a, no, that's good. All right, back. And down she goes. Perfect. Okay, let's snip that little edge off. See, the edges aren't even straight, so you got to be careful. Okay, I think we got this down good. All right, so now you can see I cut off the top part, folded it down, turned it over, flipped it back to give myself a border of the inside of my pocket. But now I do have to go and sew because it does add, it really does. See the difference? So I'm sorry to do this, you guys, but I will make another video and I will obviously post them both. Video 1 and then video 2 coming up. So I'll see you back in a few minutes, guys. Take care.